Imagine for a moment the last time you felt anger, the heat rising, the pulse quickening, the sharp words on the tip of your tongue. It may have been a careless driver cutting you off, a colleague's dismissive remark, or a plan derailed by unpredictable events. Such moments are as old as humanity itself. Yet, beneath the rush of emotion, there is an opportunity, a chance to reclaim your peace, to remain unshaken, and to rise above the fray. The Stoic philosophers understood something essential about the nature of anger and upset, that these are not caused by external events, but by our judgments about those events. This realization is both liberating and daunting. It means that the power to remain calm, regardless of what happens around us, lies entirely within. Consider the words of Epictetus, the former slave-turned-philosopher, who said, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." When we are slighted, inconvenienced, or frustrated, it is not the thing itself, a traffic jam, a rude comment, a broken promise, that causes our distress. It is our interpretation, our expectation, our demand that life conform to our wishes, that stirs our emotions. To never again be angry or upset, begin by confronting this truth. When you feel the first stirrings of irritation, pause. Observe the emotion as it arises, like a storm forming on the horizon, and say to yourself, "This is not the event itself, but my judgment about it." By separating the event from your impression of it, you create space, a moment of clarity in which you can choose your response. The Stoics practiced this separation as a daily discipline. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, wrote in his private notes, "If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it, and it is in your power to wipe out this judgment now." This is not a denial of reality, but an acceptance of what is within our control and what is not. Imagine a glass of water placed on a table. If it is knocked over, water spills. The glass does not curse its fate. It does not rage against the hand that brushed it aside. It simply is. The world is full of such knocks and spills, delays, disappointments, insults. To react with anger is to believe that the world owes us a smooth path. The Stoic path is to accept the knocks and keep our peace. This does not mean passivity or indifference. The Stoic is not cold, nor does he withdraw from the world. Instead, he is deeply engaged, but with a heart trained to respond rather than to react. When insulted, the Stoic considers, is this truly an injury to my character, or merely a reflection of the other's ignorance or pain? When plans go awry, he asks, was this ever truly mine to control, or was I simply borrowing fortune's favor for a time? To master anger, the Stoics offered practical exercises. One is the discipline of anticipation, premeditatio malorum, or premeditation of evils. Each morning, reflect on what could go wrong: delays, criticism, loss, misunderstanding, not to dwell in pessimism, but to prepare the mind, so when these things come, you are not surprised. Seneca advised, "Fortune falls heavily on those for whom she is unexpected. The man who has anticipated her coming sustains her less heavily. By rehearsing adversity, you blunt its impact." Another exercise is to remember the brevity of life. In the heat of anger, pause and consider, will this matter a year from now, a month, a week? Most things that disturb us are trivial in the grand sweep of time, yet we give them the power to poison our peace. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Soon you will have forgotten all things, and all things will have forgotten you." This perspective shrinks problems to their true size. When someone angers us, it is tempting to see them as adversaries. Yet the Stoics counseled compassion. They believed that we are all fellow travelers, each struggling with ignorance, weakness, and fear. When insulted, ask, have I not erred in similar ways? Am I not subject to the same failings? By recognizing our shared humanity, we replace anger with understanding. If you wish never to be upset, practice the art of acceptance. Accept that people will act according to their nature. The harsh will sometimes be harsh. The forgetful will forget. The selfish will seek their own. This is not a personal affront, but the unfolding of human nature. Just as we do not rage at the wind for blowing or the rain for falling, we need not rage at people for being themselves. There is power in restraint. In every moment of provocation, the urge to lash out feels justified. The Stoics taught that true strength lies in self-command. As Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." To hold your tongue when others would speak in anger, to remain calm when others lose their composure, this is freedom. How does one cultivate this mastery? Begin with small things. When slighted, resist the impulse to respond. When inconvenienced, smile gently to yourself. Each time you succeed, you grow stronger. Each time you fail, you learn. Over time, the world's barbs lose their sting. Another tool is to focus on intention, not outcome. The Stoic invests effort in right action, but releases attachment to results. If you are misunderstood, so be it. If your efforts are not recognized, let it go. Your peace does not depend on the approval of others, but on the integrity of your own mind. Practice gratitude for adversity. The Stoics saw obstacles as opportunities to practice virtue. When confronted by rudeness, you have the chance to practice patience. When faced with loss, you exercise detachment. Each challenge is an invitation to grow stronger, calmer, wiser. Remember that anger is a form of temporary madness. In its grip, we say and do things we later regret. To practice Stoic calm is to safeguard your dignity, your relationships, your peace of mind. When you are tempted to anger, ask, "What would my highest self do in this moment?" Let that be your guide. When the world seems unjust, recall that justice begins with your own actions. You cannot control the behavior of others, but you can control your response. Do not allow another's folly to rob you of your serenity. When you are disappointed, reflect on the nature of desire. The Stoics taught that desire is the root of suffering. We are disturbed not by the absence of what we need, but by the craving for what we wish. To be content is to align desire with reality, to want what is rather than what might be. In all things, return to the present moment. Anger is often a rehearsal of past injuries or a forecast of future wrongs. Yet life is lived here and now. Focus on what is before you and let the rest fall away. The present is always manageable. It is only when we pile up grievances from the past or fears of the future that we are overwhelmed. Cultivate a sense of humor about yourself and the world. Much of what angers us is, upon reflection, absurd. The Stoics found relief in perspective, in the ability to laugh at the smallness of human concerns. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about your neighbors, unless with a view to some mutual benefit." Most of what disturbs us is unworthy of our attention. Surround yourself with reminders of Stoic wisdom. Read the meditations of Marcus Aurelius, the letters of Seneca, the discourses of Epictetus. Let their words sink deep into your mind, so that in moments of trial, you remember the path. Practice daily reflection. Each evening, ask yourself, where did I lose my temper today? Where did I remain calm? Celebrate your progress, forgive your failures, and resolve to do better tomorrow. The journey to equanimity is a lifelong practice. If you find yourself provoked, remember the Stoic dichotomy of control. There are things within your power, your thoughts, your actions, your responses. And there are things beyond your power, the actions of others, the outcomes of events, the opinions of the world. Invest your energy only where it matters, on what you can shape. When anger tempts you, consider the cost. Is a moment's satisfaction worth the damage to your peace, your relationships, your well-being? The Stoics urged us to value tranquility above all, to guard it as our most precious possession. To never again be angry or upset is an ideal, perhaps never fully attained, but each day offers the chance to come closer. Through mindfulness, reflection, and practice, you can transform the storms of life into opportunities for calm. You can become, as the Stoics aspired, like the rock against which the waves break, unmoved and undefeated. In the end, the world will continue as it is. People will be thoughtless, Plans will go awry. Accidents will happen. The Stoic does not demand that the world change, but that he change himself. In this lies true power, the freedom to choose peace in a world that so often offers turmoil. So the next time you feel anger rising, pause. Remember, it is not the event, but your judgment. You have the power to let it go, to remain calm, to be master of yourself. This is the Stoic way, not to be unfeeling, but to be unshakable. In every challenge, there is a choice. Will you surrender to anger, or will you rise above? The path is clear. Walk it, and you will find a peace that no one can take from you.